Okay, so I know I've extended this project out to be like a damn month long or so, but it's finally nearing completion. I just got done jerry rigging some more framing up for the final pour of the regular concrete for the outer walls of the heat treating oven. And as you can see down here, I have some pipe coming through here. It's already been cemented in the last pour coming out, and then I'm gonna have to add on a little bit more to that, and there's gonna be a plastic hose that I'll show you here in a little bit that's inside. It's gonna come through here and come around to go up into this hole where this water hose is coming out of. And then for the portion of it that's on the ground there, I'm probably gonna get some cinder blocks or lay some concrete over the plastic portion of the hose, that way it doesn't get torn up. And but yeah, I've already mixed up the last little bit of quickcrete there. I threw a few bricks in there just to take up some space, so I didn't have to buy 2 bags for this last pour. And yeah, I'm about to basically just fill up this part, this last final bit of the cavity there, and then I'll clean out the inside, and next step will be cutting up the refractory bricks from the old oven to place in there and lining the inside, as well as using some of the little like the fiber refractory pads that they use for oven and stuff. But yeah, that's where it's at. Okay, so I haven't shown how I've been doing this yet because it's so ghetto and I'm not a concrete worker, but I figured I might as well at least try and film a couple scoops full of how I've been doing this whole process, since I didn't want to invest a whole bunch of money in, you know, renting a concrete mixer or whatnot. So I've been using a 5-gallon bucket. This particular batch right here has too much water in it because it rained yesterday, and I just used the rainwater that was in the bucket. I poured a little bit out, left too much in. It's a little bit runny. Oh well, it'll work out. But yeah, I just been mixing up the quickcrete in that with the shovel over there. And now you can see I'm using these solo cups, and I'm just scooping it out and pouring it in. And because I'm not concerned with how pretty this is gonna be, like, yeah, there's obviously gonna be a little bit that leaks out of like the holes back there where you can see light coming in areas like that. But like I said, don't really care. I'm making this for functionality, not for cosmetics. When it was thicker on previous batches, I was using this little guy to do it, but when it winds up being too runny, I go for the cups. Don't got no crazy leakage yet. Maybe it wasn't too thin, just seemed like it. Yep, a couple of these boards aren't actually screwed together like this one. So I'm gonna try and reposition that, because this whole project is super flying by the seat of my pants. It's about as flying by the seat of your pants as you can get. Shit. And that's what flying by the seat of your pants does. A blowout right there. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, that's just gonna have to stay like that, I guess. And be partially what covers up some of that shit there. Because I don't see any other way to do it. I'm gonna have to fucking screw something to this piece of wood real quick. But yeah, that spill out right there, that's just gonna have to stay. I'm just gonna smooth it. I was wanting to cover some of this shit up with concrete anyway, so I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, I'll just do that right there. Just let it stack up against that. And then I'm gonna have to screw something against the wood to make sure it doesn't fall over again. But because my hand's all nasty now, I gotta put the phone down. Okay, so I haven't been filming some of this stuff 'cause I just forgot to, but I'll at least, you know, do a little update, quick little rundown on what I'm doing here and try to film some of the next crap, even though I'm pretty much almost done with this project and the last little bit of it is pretty self-explanatory. For this video, it's not really going to be so much as watch me doing stuff for the fact of doing it, more as just look at the end setup for you know, an idea or concept if you're trying to do something like this, pretty much. But so yeah, as you can got the outer casing of the heat treating oven slash forge done. I've still got to go in here and chop up the electric heat treating oven to reuse the fire bricks to line this one with. But I mean, it's not pretty, but it turned out pretty good for how half-assed I went about, you know, doing it with layering the concrete with individual bags of Quikrete, you know, over the course of a month. And you know, the hardest part about this whole deal so far has been just trying to figure out how I wanted to go about doing this whole deal to get the airflow to it, because well, for one, I'm mostly out here in the town I live, which isn't a very big town. The main place I get all my hardware stuff from is Tractor Supply, and they don't have a very large, it's like every time you go there and you need some kind of hardware the size you need, they don't got it in stock. And the Ace Hardware in this town closes at like 6 o'clock or some retarded shit. So but yeah, so it took multiple trips of going up to each of those places over the course of a few days and trying to figure out what size I wanted to use to taper down to do what, because I was also trying to, you know, save the most money I could on this whole deal. So trying to get the cheapest stuff to make this work, and yada yada yada, and a whole lot of just basically just mental game planning at the hardware store went into that. But so you can see here, I got this is actually some sort, I think it's like a sump pump hose that I got from Ace Hardware. It was like 18 bucks, and it's actually like way longer than the section I used, but it comes with these little like sections of it you can cut or break off. So I only had to use like 3.5 feet of it, and I got like another like probably like 9 feet or plus I just put up in the attic. But I went with that because if I was gonna try and do, the original plan was to do everything with this kind of some sort of just, you know, standard metal pipe all the way up in here through that hole there to the blower there. But I quickly realized that that was going to be way more expensive to do, because I don't have a pipe bender. I don't do enough pipe work to invest in a pipe bender, even one of the like cheaper ones. And yeah, probably, I mean, even if I did, I wouldn't need it, and the material alone still would have been more than this. And so, also because that hole there in the wall, I had already drilled because I had the water hose out there going through it, because my property sits on a pretty heavy slope, and when it rains, if it rains real hard, the garage tends to flood, and it drains out that way towards the back fence. And so at one point I drilled holes, that one down there that's going through, and I got one over there, and I had a little transfer pump with a water hose going through each side, because I have built a little, which you can't see right now obviously because it's out front, but I built a little retaining wall that's just like, you know, 3 or 4 inches high right at the garage door to kind of keep the water out, because I can't open the garage door because of how high the CNC machine's motor sits anyways. But that retaining wall keeps water from coming in to a certain point, but if it's raining real hard, it starts to collect and like right there, and you know, build a little mini pond. And so the transfer pump was being used to drain that pond out from the front of the garage, and then I would usually take the other end of that water hose out there to the alleyway out there, and you know, to try and keep it dry in here. So the hole was already there, but not that, sorry, going off on a tangent there. But anyway, so that hole was already there, and it would have been pretty damn expensive to purchase and just a pain in the ass to make sure everything fit together right, to go to the hardware store and purchase like pre-cut and like threaded, you know, fittings, like the stuff there, to work it from here all the way down and out and over there. So when I found that like thin plastic like sump pump hose deal for 18 bucks, I was like, man, that's the way to go. Like, I still obviously had to go and get some stuff to neck it down from like the 2.5 inch diameter this is, and I mean, it's not the sturdiest here, but I mean, it's sealed up real good, but that's not the sturdiest just because I'm using those rubber fittings there. But as long as I brace this, brace it when I go to turn this handle, it works pretty well. And there's no leaks in it at all, even though I had to go in there, and you can see, because on Amazon it said that was a 2.5 inch hole on the blower. And so when I got that 2.5 inch like OD piece of pipe right there that I put in there, it spread it out just a little bit. It must have been a little bit oversized, so I just put some epoxy on it. And yeah, I don't got no leaks or nothing. The blower's working real good. But so all this is set up, you know, got it screwed down to the anodizing station there, and so that now, oh, also, yeah, had to come in here to this, which I know they make some shit like this that's usually like made out of stainless or cast iron, that's made for like forges, you know, things you can buy on Amazon, but they're like 90 bucks. I figured I'd just, you know, jerry rig my own thing together. But had to buy a special you know, NPT type, and do some research to figure out what kind of one of these connections I wanted to use for the propane, because this is where the propane is going to hook into. And okay, so what I'm about to do here is I gotta cut up the old fire brick that's been cemented together with refractory cement from the old electric heating oven, to use it to line the new gas heat treating oven. And this shit, the refractory brick and the refractory cement, is supposedly really bad to get in your lungs or your eyes and shit. That's why I'm doing the bare minimum here. with this N95 mask. And it's pretty fucking miserable. I hate this shit. I hate wearing this. Especially when it's a fucking 100 degrees outside in Oklahoma in July. Calm down.
That's the third time because
You'll have to excuse that annoying humming sound that's coming from the blower for some reason. But this is my first attempt at using the oven. As you can see there, the temperature I'm getting right at the edge of that refractory blanket material stuff is 1200. I need to be getting temperatures of like 1800 for like 6 hours. So I'm just gonna assume for this test run that if it's 1200 that close to the edge of the blanket, that it's probably at least 1800 down in the oven right now without having to remove the blanket off the top and lose all the heat that is trapping in there. But so, I've already been doing this for 3 hours before I started filming. I got like 3 more to go, and so we'll see how this work turns out.